Hi, it's that time with lovers. Time for the very last vote of the year for the Goodreads Choice Awards. I have 4 hours left to vote. I had a very busy weekend and had only 24 hours to read my last books. I made it through the last part of Death of the Author and 2 of the 3 books I was trying to read, which is pretty good. My husband calculated it for me. I read, I think he said 12 or 1300 pages in like 24 hours, which might be a new personal best. But let's vote. We have less than 4 hours before it ends, so let's do it now. Most of these will not be changing, but we had some slight hiccups and some categories that left us without 5-star books to vote for, so we'll see if I found some new 5-star reads or if I'm going to wind up crying in this video. Okay, favorite fiction. You know the drill. I didn't get to read any new ones here, but I didn't need to because there are 2 5-star options, The Names and Wild Dark Shore. I loved them both, but for me, I had much more of an emotional connection with The Names, and this year, that was kind of the name of the game. You made me cry. I voted for you. It was beautifully written. It was devastating. I loved it. Who needs a therapist when you have books? Voting. Up next is historical fiction. I think I really upset someone when I said I didn't care for The Stolen Queen. I didn't. There was like a ghost thing in there, and the level of historical accuracy just changed too much to me. The fact that it's called The Stolen Queen, and the artifact that was stolen, in fact, in history was the bust of a man, not the sculpture of a queen, bugged me. So, when the title of your book is the piece of history that didn't happen, I'm sorry, Fiona Davis. I normally love you, but you irked me this year. So I am voting for Good Dirt. I am still irritated Homeseeking did not make it through. Still really want to read The Amalfi Curse, and Atmosphere, I loved it so much, but I just felt like the history didn't read through as much as I wanted it to, and as much as the interpersonal relationships were so beautiful, and it made me bawl my eyes out. Always so important. I like 2 of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books more than I liked Atmosphere, and Good Dirt was just mind-boggling for me, and it really made me think. So thank you, Charmaine Wilkerson. Mystery thriller. Beautiful Ugly was great, but I don't want to have to vote for a book that requires me to rip out the last few pages because the book deserved a better ending. Don't be predictable. Don't make me think it's got to be one of 2 things and then pick one of those 2 things, especially when I didn't want you to pick that one. Alice Feeney, you're better than that. Please surprise me at the end. You're a mystery thriller. So we are going with Not Quite Dead Yet, which made me sob hysterically, and I was in denial about the entire time because you're not going to do that. And crap, you're going to do. Oh, why would you? Oh, God. It was great. It was devastating. I was still surprised. It was heart-wrenching. I really freaking love Holly Jackson. God, she is just a straight-up 5-star mystery thriller writer for me. And this being an adult book, I mean, yes, we upped the swearing, but we upped everything. Wow. Don't trust anyone in that town. Voting. Romance. I only read 1 book. I only needed to read 1 book. I still want to read Great Big Beautiful Lie, and I'm thinking I might start challenging myself to start reading some of these other ones throughout the year and just doing a taste test. Am I still a romance reader? Because what I liked best about the favorites was the drama, was the torture Lane Fargo just put these poor ice skaters through. That's probably not what I was meant to enjoy. But the emotional turmoil was great too. Maybe not also what I was supposed to enjoy. But it's what I'm voting for. Moving on to Romantasy. Oh dear. Shield of Sparrows. Shield of Sparrows was good. We had some good reads in this one. Great smut and mate. Still have to finish Enchantra. Why? I loved Emily Wilde, of course. Night and the Moth. That 2nd book is going to be 5 stars. Mind-boggling, amazing. Can't wait. But Wilde reference. That is just on a dang pedestal. I'm obsessed, and I went back and I did get the Fairy Loot one too, and I'm like, yes, you little overbuyer, you little collector. I'm so happy I'm gonna have both of them because I love that book with my whole heart. The writing, the romance, the drama of it. It wasn't particularly smutty, but it was just like, this is the love that is the love. Gods, time, wars, none of it matters. These 2 are written in the stars. It's that red ribbon of fate. It's the everything. You just know they are meant to be and they will overcome anything. I haven't been this excited over Romantasy since I really rediscovered the genre. Thank you, Rebecca Ross, for making me believe in love again this year. Favorite fantasy? I struggled so hard between Bury Our Bones and the Midnight Soil, between V.E. Schwab and Watermoon. Jess, who comments like all my videos, is like, man, if I went to a noodle store and accidentally it turned into like a place to make hard decisions and have to like choose to like give up a memory or not, like, do I want the memory or do I want to feel better but I'll never have the memory and like never know? If you made me do that when I was hangry, do you know how mad I'd be? Like, she's so right. Now I can't take the book seriously and I'm conflicted again because I can't look at it without laughing. To think about it, I can't make a decision when I'm hungry. I hit that blood sugar dip and I will take a bite out of you. And usually my husband's the one who has to remind me to eat because it's just not that big of a deal. But the few times a year it happens, not good, not good. So if I'm actively seeking out food, it's dire. And if it's noodles, something that's sloppy to eat in public, oh God. I didn't eat a hamburger in public until, I don't know, a couple years ago because it was not cute. Issues. Anyway, Bury Our Bones. So well written, so delightful, so delicious. Watermoon, God, the tears. Oh my God. These two still neck and neck. Let's look at the numbers. I don't think Watermoon actually stands a chance. I think Bury Our Bones does. So I'm gonna vote for Bury Our Bones just because I loved them so neck and neck. This was the category. I literally was pulling on my hair trying to decide, which is not great for hair extensions. Don't recommend. I'm going to vote for Bury Our Bones this time because A, I voted for Watermoon last time and the votes are cumulative. And B, Bury Our Bones is the one that I think could actually stand a chance and take it. And I'd really like for one of the ones I picked to win because usually I pick for the underdogs. So I'm voting for Bury Our Bones. I know, you're shocked. I'm shocked. So science fiction is where things start getting hairy. I loved the Book of Lost Hours. That's what I voted for last time. It's a very me book. It has things happening out of time. There are all these things about memories and who deserves to write the story of humanity. The victor gets to choose who remembers what goes in history books. But personally, when it comes down to who rewrites our own stories and what we choose to tell others about ourselves, it gets so complicated. It has so many beautiful things. The more I think about it, the more I realize it had to say. And I love when the more I think about a book, the more I'm like, God, it had so much to say. And it was just the way the story was laid out, the way it played with time and the way the timeline forced the book to unravel for you. That was so well done. That blew my mind. This freaking book. This is a great example of misdirection that I forced on myself. I was so convinced that I was too dumb to read this book because there were like robots and all this stuff. And I was like, I can't read this. I can't take all this in. And I'm going to offend someone saying something because there's so much about African culture and different tribes and tribalism and racism. And then we've got this whole like ableism thing going on because our main character Zelu is disabled, and like I'm gonna say something real dumb, like comparing her very clear physical disabled self to having an invisible illness and dealing with like limited lives and how I was able to find a connection with that. I'm gonna say something that's going to offend someone no matter what I do. It's saying these brilliant things and these beautiful things. The writing is amazing. There's a book within a book. So once I get used to switching back and forth, which was really helpful when I listened to the audiobook because the narrator used different accents. That was great. Then I had that in my head when I was reading it. The more I let myself go, the more I realized I needed to listen to exactly what Zelu did in the beginning, because when she initially was getting turned down by all these publishers, it was because she was writing what she thought they wanted to hear, this very strict in a literary box thing. And when she just wrote, that's when it happened. And when I just read, that's when the magic happened for me. So once I got past that, all the pieces started to come together, and the robots had their own tribalism, their own racism, their own histories, their own ideas of ableism, and it was just these amazing, beautiful parallels that were happening in between her world and the world in the book. The commentary that really got me was the commentary on shockingly, death and souls and afterlife and consciousness. And I was just so getting into it. And finally we get to like the last 2-3 chapters. And I'm like, you absolute effing moron. It is not called the death of the author. It is called Death of the Author. And if you know anything about a literature class, we're not reading about the death of the author. We're reading about death of the author. This entire time, she's dealing with what happens with her book after it is set into the wild and people are allowed to interpret it, to make it into a movie, to say what they want to say about it. And she is so annoyed the entire time. You're reading it wrong. You made the movie wrong. You changed things. Like, the death of the author argument is an author's work always the author's work? Is their word it? Is that it? Like, does an author's work begin and end with them? Is their word final? Is their interpretation final? Or once they set it free, is it no longer theirs? Does it become yours because once you read it, your lived experience alters the meaning of the book? Can you change it and make it your own? And there's even mentioned like fan fiction and stuff. Like, amazing. I'm still not getting any of that until we get to the final 3 chapters. Like, final like 20 pages, people. And I am knocked flat. Like, my head is reeling as I read them. The very last chapter, I don't remember exhaling. I just remember gasping the entire time. I put the book down. My cheeks are wet. I don't remember crying. Cheeks are just wet. I am an idiot. I let myself get so intimidated because this was science fiction. This was too much science fiction. I am not smart enough. It's a book about an author. It's a book about people. It's a book about books and consciousness and how people live together and exist together and storytelling and everything. It's about everything. I felt simultaneously vindicated, intelligent, and like the dumbest person ever when I finished this book. And it is brilliant. And I have to immediately go reread this because I finished this literally, like right before I did the hair, makeup, everything. Because now I know I did not read the book I thought I read. Nobody read the book they thought they read. That made me feel a little bit better. You couldn't have. I mean, most people probably did a heck of a lot better than I did. But this was such a hard 5 stars. This was one of the best books I've read this year. I am so dumb. This was amazing on so many levels. I didn't even get most of the levels until the very end. Oh my God, read this book. It's everything I thought it was. It's nothing that I thought it was. I'm dumb. I'm really dumb. I'm not that dumb. I'm so dumb. Please go read this book. I am still in emotional and mental short circuit mode from what this book did to me. This was incredible. Is this what sci-fi is? Is this what sci-fi is? Is this what sci-fi is? I mean, I've had books that have made me rethink things and say a lot about the human condition, but God, that ending! Can you do that? You don't know how to do that, are you? You flipped the whole and the story was not the story and the story. But can you do that? I took 14 mental cartwheels and a somersault to figure out what just happened there. And I still have to do mental gymnastics to remind myself of what actually happened at the end. I mean, we're talking some like Sixth Sense level. What did you just do to me? Kind of stuff. Go read that one. Yeah, vote. I have to read everything she writes forever. God. Horror. Nope. Debut novel. Home-seeking. I still can't find When the Tides Held the Moon. I'm so annoyed. I loved this. The whole timelines going forward and back converging is just, there's no way you're not gonna cry and be devastated, and I'm still not okay, and it's been months, but you should totally read it. Okay, the fact that this was not an audiobook is ridiculous. No, I didn't hear the rest of them. I don't care. I don't need to. It's fine. I'm terrible. Okay, so here comes the fun part. I read like 35 pages of this and I was like, it's fine. It's a little bland. It's like Bridgerton but with Faye. So I know Oathbound is like almost 650 pages, but I'm going to read it because it's almost definitely going to be 5 stars, and I need a 5-star. I have to have a 5-star. Rebel Witch I could vote for, but it wasn't quite as good as the last one, and that will forever irritate me. So I started reading. 50 pages in, I was like, crap. I don't remember what half of this stuff means. I don't remember what half of the scions, the levels of this and that are, and that this kind of magic does, and that has rules for this magic, and it's, oh god, everything functions differently, and these people know these people, and this guy is that one, and he's this alliance is here, but those two are enemies, and oh boy, I'm in trouble. And 100 pages in, I am lapping this up. I am in it. It did not do at all what I expected. We took a hard veer and went on this like whole side quest thing, and it was great. I had like spy / clue vibes, and it was fun, and there was like this forbidden love thing, and we got one bed tropes, and we have all this stuff going on, and I'm just like, this is fantastic. I'm having the best time. I didn't see any of this coming. Tracy Deonn, you are having the time of your life writing this. I am having the time of my life reading this. This is great. The plot is moving. We are learning stuff. I am almost getting like Kingdom of the Wicked vibes at times. I am just lapping this up. Just keep going. This is great. I am loving this. I'm having so much fun. Of course, we're still getting her like great little quotes thrown in there. You dance with treason today. If treason is truth, then perhaps I do, or perhaps I merely tire of your version of loyalty. I mean, we're getting like the typical like political commentary thrown in, and like all the fun little jabs that I'm just like, yes. Like, it's all so good. It's all so good. It's YA, but you're getting that underlying like racism sucks. All this stuff sucks. By the way, when you have centuries and centuries of like genealogy dictating certain things, watch out for cheating, because boy, that's gonna come back to bite you in the wrong way at the last minute. I loved it. It was great. It had its serious moments. It had everything I could have possibly wanted. It had some shock scenes and like great surprises and like disguises I was not expecting. Everything. I was like hard decisions, and I lapped this up. I love this series. Like, King Arthur retellings can really just be so serious and not fun, and this is just like, I thought I was gonna hate a modern day retelling. Love this series. 5 stars. I did not see this coming at all. I was so deeply concerned at the end of the last book, because I mean, we've got like a love triangle gone so wrong, and at the very end of this, it's still, I mean, it's gone more wrong. It's getting worse, and I love it more. Like, the last sentence, if you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. You are like, oh no, oh yes, oh but oh no, but oh, it's so good. 5 stars. It was great. And then I was like, you know, who needs sleep? I was still intimidated by that book. I was like, we'll just see. Maybe it gets better. Sasha Payton Smith. Like, the Fae are freaking dark. These bargains are like, you don't really need your fingernails, do you? You didn't really want that tooth. I mean, just go limping out the ballroom. You didn't need that toe. It's fine. We'll clean up your bloody footprints, but you'll be able to play the pianoforte really well. Oh, we're that kind of Fae. Cool. All right, let's go. And did we go? Here's the thing. What this book did that I didn't expect it to do, yes, we had the great, wonderful, again, love triangle thing that I love so much. We had the one bed trope, again, that I love so much, and like the forbidden scenes, and the I'll like help you, and like, but there's this underlying plot that is so like sinister and dark, and there's all this reason that the forbidden love is happening, and everything feels so good. It's like very much like, instead of the Duke and I, it's like the Prince and I, except the whole of England is kind of like needs you to not mess this up, okay? And your family especially, like, just don't. But we get 6 girls who are kind of like really competing for the prince's hand, and they're all kind of living together. And this is gonna sound so stupid. But the phrase that kept coming to me, and this underlying theme, you know that Taylor Swift song where there's that line, "Give me back my girlhood, it was mine first." We're kind of seeing the boys on the outskirts a lot. Well, what we're really seeing is this story of women and mothers and girls competing and destroying each other. Mothers especially coming down on their daughters, sisters competing, friends like being ruthless, taking one another's innocence and girlhood from each other to compete for this prize they don't even necessarily want or care about or love, just to save themselves. There was this underlying sense of just sadness that I kept feeling from this book. And it really played with that sinister competition that the fairy queen, because it's a fake queen who's ruling England for like, and has been for 400 years. It's a fey prince they're fighting for, and his half-brother is the other love interest, that kept coming up. And it was subtly done at first, but it keeps hitting you. And anytime an alliance is formed, the queen really makes sure she tries to destroy it. And anytime you get any kind of family contact or support, it's really destroyed so quick. These girls are young, they're forced into adulthood. Anything they try and take for themselves is tainted. It had this subtlety and these underlying messages of, don't go into the forest, you're going to lose yourself. Don't mess up, you're going to taint yourself. It really, really played into the idea of Regency England, but even our time now. Don't mess up. Keep yourself sweet. Dr. Peyton Smith has some stuff to say, and I think we're going to see that a lot more. I didn't know it was a sequel. Oh my god, I was freaking out at the end. I was like, we're reaching the end really fast. What are you going to do? This can't end this way. This is going to end really badly. This is not a standalone like I thought it was. The things that it did were amazing. The ending blew my absolute mind. And then all those little things that were just bugging me along the way that I thought we're going to get weird answers to or non-answers to. Or at the end I thought we were going to get like simple little sweet answers to. This book blew everything up. It's getting 5 stars because you could have knocked me off the sofa when I finished this book. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, there's some really deep-rooted messages hidden under all that fluff and froth. And I think we're going to see some really interesting things. This wasn't just like a little cutesy YA novel. Underneath all that fae stuff, we're actually getting some real commentary there. I want to see what she has to say. Like, I want to see where this goes. So this is my 5-star pick, and it was, any adult could read this. Any adult could read this. Any adult could read Oathbound too. Don't get me wrong, the whole series from Tracy Young. But this is going to do something special, I think. Unless I'm just overthinking everything right now. I don't think I am. That's why I'm dressed too much. And I just really enjoyed reading this edition. Come on. Tell me this isn't the prettiest edition. Prettiest edition, right? Oh, so pretty. But yeah, no, this one, we got some stuff going on here about women not being allowed to band together and the loss of innocence, but how we take it from one another and don't let ourselves stay innocent either. There's some stuff there. I want to see more. So, Rose Bargain, my YA fantasy. Young adult fiction. If you're not falling in love and saving the world, I'm just going to be bored at this point in YA. Nonfiction. I think there are a couple books I'm interested in here, but it was not a non-fiction-y kind of week I needed. Nobody's Girl gets my vote because it was 5 stars. It was absolutely 5 stars. I hate judging memoir, though. Like, I just feel icky sometimes, and like, especially Nobody's Girl. Just being willing to put those memories out there, having them well written, that's enough to earn 5 stars, but it feels weird judging these. 107 Days really hurts to read right now. I really believe she was going to win. She deserved to win. Why do we have a felon in the White House? And if you're like, whoa, this is booktube, reading is political. My Thanksgiving was very political. There was shouting. That sums up my voting. Thank you so much if you joined me. I'm sorry it got a little dark there at the end, but it's kind of been a dark year for me. I hope your year has been a lot better. Tell me who you voted for. Tell me if there are any books that I should have read that I missed. And it's just a tragedy that I did, because there's definitely books on here that I'm sure that is true for. I will let you get back to your book, and I will... No, I'm not going to reread The Death of the Author tonight. Editing husband and I are going to be the editing. I'm going to go make a thumbnail, hoping I don't have total crazy eyes in at least one photo that I took for the thumbnail. So I love you all, and I'll see you next time, and we find out the winners this week. Thursday, I think. 4th, right? Thursday? Ah! Oh my god, I have 2 up on the shelf too. December. Here we go. Love y'all, and see you next time. Bye.